Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is not going to be a very structured video. I just wanted to give my thoughts on some of the breaking news that we have here in the CFL this week and why I think we are on the path towards playing in 2021. I am probably the most confident I've ever been when it comes to thinking that this league is actually going to play a season here in 2021, and I'm going to tell you guys why in this quick and unscripted video here. But really quickly before we get started, if you enjoy CFL content like this, consider subscribing as it helps me out and I really appreciate it. There's really two developments that are going on right now in the CFL that I think are just huge factors as to the future of this league in an immediate sense. One is the leaked 20% pay cut to player salaries to start the season on time that just leaked out today. And then the other one is the potential legalization in the coming weeks of single sports betting in Canada. The progress on both of these issues could be what pushes us to actually having a CFL season and a full one. And it feels like we're kind of on the right track. Basically, from my understanding, from Dave Naylor, the TSN insider that really broke this story. Essentially, what's been put on the table is that the CFL, in order to play their full 18-game season, has proposed that if they have to open the season without fans, which, given the status of the pandemic, is pretty likely right now when the season is going to kick off early in June. If they have to open the season without fans, for the games that will not have fans in the stands, those players' game checks, as in their salaries for those games, will be reduced by 20% in order to accommodate the loss of revenue that the league is having to endure without fans. And obviously this is a major labor dispute because even though this does provide a potential avenue for the league to play games uninterrupted for a full regular season here in 2021, the question now becomes, do the players in the CFLPA agree to taking this pay cut after they've already, throughout this offseason, have had to reduce all of their salaries and their signing bonuses. Basically, very little signing bonuses were given out this free agency period. And so players have really felt the whole brunt of this economic crunch that's going on around the league. And to ask them to take another 20% is asking a lot from CFL players. So I completely get that point of view. And if you are taking the player's stance and saying they should just reject this and, just wait this out and see if they can play with fans, then I totally support that. But I also understand the CFL's predicament when it comes to their financial situation. And I've just read so much about this throughout the last year and just the problems that this league is having, even in normal years, generating revenue. But the fact that this league's major source of revenue has been completely taken away due to the inability for us to actually have fans at CFL games. And this league is in a process of transition and trying to really address that in their business model. And so honestly, this league that lost 60 to 80 million dollars last year, that's the reported financial losses from not playing a 2020 season. This league is bound to lose money regardless of what happens, even if they can have partial capacity. Because in a good year, Commissioner Randy Ambrosi admitted last year to the House of Commons that the teams lose collectively $10 million each year in a normal year. And so that is pretty concerning. And so if the CFL is proposing this 20% cut, it really must mean that they are struggling. But I think the major thing here is, and the major question with all this is, has everyone else in the CFL that are not players and football operations staff, are the executives and team presidents taking their share of pay cuts in this scenario? Dave Naylor reportedly said that it's his understanding that that has already happened, but again, we haven't seen the league come out and say, yes, every part of our business has taken their fair share of a sacrifice in order to have a CFL season here in 2021 and honestly save the league. And that's really what we're trying to do here. So I honestly do think that this is going to be eventually accepted by the CFL Players Union. And that may not be a popular opinion because it looks on paper very unfair to CFL players who have already, like I said, taken pay cuts already. But I think that there's just so much leverage that a professional football league, even as one that's struggling like the CFL, has over their base of players. Because there are so many players, football players out there that want to play professional football and would play for very little. But there's also going to be a significant portion of veteran players, I think, that are going to be very irked by this because of what they've already had to sacrifice. And that's the biggest fear with this, is that a lot of them may just say screw the CFL and retire, and it's basically going to be a league that we don't recognize from the last time we were on the field in 2019. And I think players, I think they may have to rethink this. If you're a veteran player, are the financial benefits worth it? Because the minimum contract, which a lot of CFL players are on, which is around $65,000 a year, consider that with a 20% pay cut if they have to play a significant portion of games without fans. You're not taking home a lot at the end of the season for what you're going to put your body through. And from that point of view, it's really going to be a tough sell for the CFL in that sense. But at the same time, like I said, I do think this is going to go through because there are a lot of players that are just willing to play football because there's just not a lot of jobs for professional football players. And even just a slight chance to prove themselves to get to the NFL is a chance that a lot of players are willing to take. And on that cheery note, let's go on to the other item I wanted to talk about, and that's the potential legalization of single sports betting in Canada. So this bill was actually proposed a few months back by this Saskatchewan MP, and he basically called it his plan to save the CFL. And like I was saying before, the CFL has problems with revenue generation outside of fans in the stands. And it also has this perception that mostly older people, an older demographic, follow the league, and they're struggling to attract younger fans. And so what this potential legalization of single sports betting in Canada could do, it could offer such an important other revenue stream for this league to make up some of these losses that they've had to endure, not just these last couple of years due to the pandemic, but other years as well. And that is a potential way for this league to grow into the future and engage with younger viewers. It also, it's just one vote away from being finalized in the House of Commons. Now, there will be a lot of things, regulations and such, to work out after this, but this could be in effect in this 2021 CFL season. And that, combined with like I said, the 20% pay cut plan that we saw today, it really signals to me that this league is going to be playing in 2021. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I wasn't going to be saying that. I obviously, if people have watched my other videos, I've been kind of hit or miss about whether or not the CFL is going to be playing this year. And even though I, talk about the league weekly, but with this news today combined with the progress of that bill in the House of Commons, it just gives me hope that this is actually going to happen and that this league is going to be able to put on a season here in 2021. And with that said, that's going to conclude my thoughts here. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Once again, my name is Jason. Be sure to let me know in the comments section what you think about all this news surrounding the league. Are they going to be playing here in 2021? And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.